All right, it is post-game podcast time. Very excited for this one. What's up, Al?
Oh, hi there, Jerry.
Yeah, hello.
This was well, I'm not sure how I got to this pondering today.
Pondering.
It had to be as I was scrolling through my Twitter timeline, and I saw a woman who was she was showing cleavage. It was just a cleavage thing, and I thought,
Sure.
well, this is interesting. First of all, strange that we like bosoms when even just to see the cleavage part, right? For whatever reason.
Yeah, it's somewhat exhilarating for
Yeah.
some weird reason.
Yes, and I'm sure it's biological, like goes back
Yeah.
to something in nature. But we're not allowed to see the nipple. That we know.
Correct.
And I was trying to think, is there a male equivalent for women?
I think the six-pack abs.
Six-pack abs.
I think when I don't know this, but my guess would be when a woman sees a guy in very good shape, and I think there's two or three things. I think if they see a flat stomach with the 6 or an 8-pack, I think when they see very defined arms,
Mhm.
and my guess would be a strong ass.
I'm going to say of those that most women like the nice arms.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I believe that when a woman sees a man with abs, they think, well, now the pressure's really on me, like if I was going to be with that man, to have really good abs.
Okay, that's fair.
Which is a lot of pressure. Also, I think they sometimes look at a man with good abs and goes, that guy's got too much time on his hands. He's probably not making
I would just not
good.
think that with the arms too. You got to work out.
Yeah, but there's just something about the arms seems more natural. Like this guy's
Okay.
just like doing some manly things and he's got these nice arms. So that's
Seems
what I was
fair.
thinking. Like, but we could expose our entire bicep or stomach
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter or whatever as a regular person, and your company wouldn't get mad at you.
Not
if
at
you
all.
exposed your full breast.
Especially in the summertime.
Yeah. But if you exposed your nipple on there, your company could
everybody
be like,
loses their mind.
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know if it's a fair equivalent to say the women looking at
I didn't call it an equivalent.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you're asking me what a woman would be attracted to on a man, because we had the conversation today that men are kind of gross and women are not.
Yeah.
Those are the three things that I come up with. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair. So as you're scrolling, like a woman might go, man, that guy's got some nice arms.
Yeah, I think that's very possible.
Whereas we go, that woman has some nice breasts.
Yes. I think women, I think, again, I don't know, would be very into the definition of a guy.
Yeah.
Which is why we're a sad sack around here. Quite frankly.
I gotta say though, for a long time, I thought I had nice arms. And
you used to do curls all the time.
Yeah. I'm getting no one.
No more?
No one.
Are you doing the curls anymore?
No, I'm saying I don't feel like I got any.
Oh, but you've been in a committed relationship for like 8 years now, though.
Yeah, but you would think I'd get something. Right?
What are we looking for?
Nice arms. Something.
Like what? Phone numbers?
I gotta, you know, COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
And then they closed the gyms.
Mm-hmm.
And then you couldn't get weights, like if you didn't already have weights.
Right. Like you couldn't get the Peloton for 8 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I eventually got the armbands. But something happened in that period of time in COVID, which was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have turned 51.
Right.
Those years to now 55, it's not like the muscle definition for my arms definitely dropped off.
Well, you probably don't. Well, I think a couple things. I think if you continue to do the same routine,
yeah,
I think your body gets used to it.
Yeah, and that was the difference when you go to the gym.
Yeah.
You have all different machines and the free weights and the bands.
You continue to do 20-pound arm curls and nothing else. It's going to get to a point where your body is going to recognize it, I believe.
I think you're right.
That's why you have to change it up, And the one thing I would say, too, the more I read about aging and trying to stay as fit as you can or as in shape as you can, is there's this cardio and aerobic exercise is still important for sure. There's no question. But there seems to be this movement towards maybe you don't need as much as that as we thought. You need more of the weightlifting.
Yes.
And you've got to and mix it up. and confuse your muscles constantly. And I think that's kind of part of what we're talking about.
Yeah, the only problem for like I definitely have to go back to the gym as opposed to just working out in my house, which is what I'm doing. And all I have is the bands and the push-ups and I'm doing body weight
Sure.
stuff. But believe it or not, by me, there's only one gym,
Really?
and it is a hardcore
It's like a muscle gym.
muscle gym, Jerry.
Yeah. You're
There's a
looking for like the
muscle.
24-hour fitness places.
Yeah, I want to go to a place where like there's senior citizens working out, there's obese women trying to figure it out. This gym is like these guys, these men and women, they are muscular.
These guys are pushing cattle in the
They
back.
are, yeah, they are like serious.
Well,
Like this gym doesn't have air conditioning.
why can't you go to a different town like nearby?
Because then I'll be like, I'm not going to get in my car.
What about on the way home?
I got the dog, unfortunately. That's what I used to do. I used to hit the gym on my way home when I was in Basking Ridge.
Yeah.
And then when I was in Mattawan, I had a gym right down in my lobby.
I know you did.
I mean, in my building. It was awesome.
Why don't you just walk into an older than 55 community and just walk in, show them your license? I'm 55.
And just walk into their gym.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I tell you what's funny is how many people I'm talking to that are in our age group that are moving into those places or looking at them.
55 and over. Yeah.
It's really something. Like, I don't feel like I'm there.
Yeah, the problem, I think you're the one who said this to me when I fantasized about this. You know, you kind of are the age of the people you hang around.
Yes, I agree.
And if you go in there at 55, there's 85-year-olds in
Correct.
there, 90-year-olds.
And a lot of them.
Yeah.
But no disrespect to them. I mean, it's great that they're still out and about, but you're now in a more, is geriatric the right word? More of a
Yes.
geriatric environment.
Yes. Now, could you, if there's a pickleball situation within your community, dominate those old people?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Sure. And you might even find other 55-year-olds that you would hang out with. Yeah, absolutely.
You might.
I think it depends on where or what the place is like, the amenities it has. I like, and me and my wife are pretty much in lockstep with this. We will for sure downsize after this house, but it will not be to a 55 and older community. It will be more in line with maybe a townhouse community, I think. But it will be where there are kids around. I like the noise. Like, I like the sounds of a Saturday morning, hearing kids riding the bike or yelling or, playing basketball. I'm not looking for silent. To me, that's morgue-like.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like that. I think the one thing I love about where you are, and maybe not so much in the winter, I think the activity and the liveliness of the spring and summer is amazing.
Yeah, spring, summer, half of fall.
Yeah.
Then the other half of fall and winter is very dreary, but you're
And
right.
depressing.
It makes a difference. Even when I was in Mattawan, I took the apartment that I chose in Mattawan was one that overlooked the Little League field.
Kind of cool, right?
Just because there was life out there. I saw so many great moments just as a casual observer of a one man out there, one father out there with his son, having a teaching moment, and it was very nice. It was nice to watch.
Yes, it is, and those are great memories.
Yeah, that was cool.
You got to see it, I got to live it,
right?
And it's very cool. But there's something to be said about being around, activity, people that are, I think, like-minded, but also that are energetic. And I do agree. It's kind of like, now I don't necessarily believe this where they say, to make a lot of money, you got to hang out with people that make a lot of money. I guess I don't know that that's necessarily true. But I do believe in what you're talking about is 100% accurate. If you're going to be around old people, you're going to get old very quickly. If you're going to hang around younger people, you're going to remain with a younger mindset longer. I do think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I saw that Donald Trump just signed something into law or whatever the heck it's called. It believe it or not, Jerry, it deals with showerheads.
What?
Yeah. He signed a thing to, I'm not making this up, make showers great again.
I don't even know what that means.
I guess in the last 12 years during the Biden and Obama administration, they had set regulations on how much water a shower head could pump out in a save water type of situation. So all these manufacturers, I guess it was very complicated. This is according to Donald's paperwork that he just put out there. That it got very complicated for shower head manufacturers, and they had to like put these things on the shower heads that they would only release a certain amount of
Almost like
water.
limiters.
Yeah, limiters. Yeah. And he's taken those all off.
Hmm.
Powerful shower heads again.
Okay.
I ju-
Wow.
I judge a hotel based on
Yeah.
the shower head, right?
Absolutely. You get a bad shower, it sucks. You get a powerful. The place we stay at when we go to Northwestern, we don't stay in Chicago. We stay just outside of Chicago. I forget, it's like one of these. Rutgers stays in very nice hotels. Sometimes they're Marriott brands, sometimes they're Hilton brands. This one is, I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's a newer one. No, I'm sorry, Ohio State, not Northwestern, Ohio State. It's right down the road in Columbus. And the showers are to die for. Like they can knock you over.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah, I
pretty
love
good.
that for a hotel. Even when I was looking for rooms in Montana,
Yeah.
I was, going through pictures, looking to see what does the shower look like. Because that I feel like really, because even some of the tiny hotel rooms here in New York City that we have to stay at
Mhm.
sometimes, they're really tiny
Oh,
rooms.
you're not kidding.
But sometimes the showers are great. Like
Yes.
for the size of the room, a beautiful shower in a hotel, man, that'll make a difference.
I stayed at a Marriott down by Hudson Yards about a month ago, and same thing. The room was like, I mean, the bed was the majority of the room. There wasn't a lot of room to maneuver around it, but the bathroom was big and the
Yeah.
shower was awesome. Very, very. It was I forget what block it was on, but it was literally like 3 blocks away from Hudson Yards.
Yeah. I would trade those.
Yeah, I did.
I'll take a small room
Couldn't agree more.
for a beautiful bathroom.
Yep, I agree with you. I agree. Where are you with the Montana trip in terms of booking the hotel or Airbnb?
I booked a hotel.
Oh, you have?
I booked a hotel. Yeah, in fact, Jerry, convinced me hotel over Airbnb because you said,
Vacation feel.
yeah, like staying in someone's house or condo, does that feel like a vacation? It doesn't.
It doesn't to me. I agree.
Yeah.
Unless it's the only place I would say it could is in a beach community. If you have a house that's literally a block from the beach or right on the beach or
Yeah.
near a boardwalk, because then every time you walk out, you're on vacation. I mean, you are on vacation. And so for instance, when we went to Nashville with 6 other friends, 3 other couples, and we rented this gigantic 5-bedroom house that had an in-ground pool. But it was about 6-7 minutes outside Nashville. So when we wanted to go to the strip, we got a car, and 6-7 minutes by car, not by walking. And I remember when like our afternoon, we did day drinking, and then we were going back to the house. We were going to go swimming in the pool. We were going to barbecue, and then we were going back for the nighttime. I remember when we got there, it was neat to hang out in the backyard, but it was as if, I don't know, it was like we were home.
Yeah.
It was just, we were in someone's neighborhood. It didn't feel like anything.
Yeah. And that's you saying that convinced me
All right, so you got a hotel.
to go hotel.
Nice.
So I got a car, got a hotel.
What did the car cost you?
Got the $900.
Wow. $900 for a rental car for 5 days?
For a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, returning it on the 6th day. Yeah.
That's hefty.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's hefty, Jerry.
This is not a cheap trip.
No. It is not a cheap trip.
Which is fine, but damn. That
Yeah, I was
drives me
surprised.
crazy. The car fees, man.
I know. It's weird too. So my brother-in-law went to Bozeman, Montana in January, February. He went for skiing, which I thought was their big time of year.
I would think that's the high time.
So because he knew I was going, he just like copy and pasted a bunch of text messages from his group of friends who were all going. And it was like one guy was the leader of this pack, and he's like, "Oh, here's our options. We could rent a car for this much. We could stay at this hotel. It's this much a night." It's all half the price I'm paying.
No kidding.
Yeah.
During ski season.
They were there in ski season, yeah.
I would never in a million years have thought
The
that.
hotel was almost double.
Wow.
The car rental almost double.
All right.
What the hell, Jerry?
I don't know, but you're going to have one hell of a time in Bozeman.
Hell yeah, I am.
Yes, you are.
Damn.
When is this now? When are you going?
July.
Yeah, I got to write those dates down. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Who says when I got panicked that I didn't want to do the warm-up show with?
Don't panic, Jerry. And then today during the program, when you guys had got on the topic of OnlyFans, somehow, I was remembering back. I was like, what was the name? Because I remember when I was in Florida, this was a very early version of that. And it was called Voyeur Dorm. It was a house in Tampa.
Okay.
That the people set up cameras and had all these probably strippers move in. And I looked it all up. It was $35 a month back in 1998 money.
Wow, talk about ahead of their time.
$35 a month, and you could go on the website and click on any cameras in their showers, in their
You're
rooms,
kidding me.
in their living room. Yeah.
And that's not
Voyeur
still a
dorm.
thing?
No, because neighbors got upset, and then they're like, "This isn't zoned for entertainment,"
So it
and
got shut
it was
down.
a court case.
Really?
Yeah.
I could imagine. Think about what you just said. $35 a month. Even if you only ended up with, let's say, 1,000 subscribers, which is a very low number. That's $35,000. That's $420,000 a year.
Yeah. And they were going on, I remember these guys, they were going on the very popular back then, the Bubba the Love
Yeah,
Sponge
yeah, yeah.
show was
Yep.
very popular in Tampa. That they had the Voyeur Dorm guys on all the time. The people
Oh,
who
these
were
were
running it.
guys.
Well, these were guys that were running it,
Oh, I see.
and they'd come on and talk about all the girls and bring the girls in too.
Wow.
And I remember because I knew the Bubba the Love Sponge producers I was friends with, they got free passwords. It was just kind of
You
weird.
ever
Like,
check it out?
yeah, I definitely checked it out, but it was like, it was a lot of time nothing was
A lot of
going on.
nothing.
Yeah. And back then the cameras weren't like they are now. They weren't. I mean, this was 1998
Yeah,
video.
probably grainier.
Yeah, webcams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everything is crystal clear.
But they were pioneers back then.
Isn't that
The
something?
Voyeur Dorm.
Yeah, if you did that now, you get $35. No problem.
Yeah, that was $35 in 1998 money.
That is pretty good, right? So that's probably worth like $50, $60 a month now.
I think that's what I made a week in radio in 1998.
$60?
$35 a week.
You made more than $35 a week.
I don't know.
Come on now. Yes, you did. What was the one documentary I've still not watched that I've meant to? What was it called? The guy that videoed all the girls at spring break with the boobs.
The Girls Gone Wild guy?
Girls Gone Wild. That was. Have you ever seen that
No.
documentary? I haven't.
I would
either.
love to see that. What's that
Yeah.
on?
I don't remember. I just remember when it came out, and probably on a streaming service I don't have, I'm sure.
Right.
But I know there was a documentary recently on, I would say within the last year, on that whole situation, because they went to jail.
Yeah. Joe Francis was that guy.
That was his name?
Yeah. I forget
That's-
why they went to jail, but
I don't know. I know they've got a couple of the girls that they interview now that were on it then that ended up in the infomercial. And they had no
Yes.
idea what they signed until all of a sudden they saw themselves on the infomercial.
right. Girls were out getting drunk. The guys would get them to sign waivers. And then all of a sudden, because those commercials used to run in the newsroom
Yeah.
all the time
Oh, yeah.
in my earlier days of FAN.
Sure.
And then what they would do, what you would hear about what would happen is if somebody ordered a videotape, you are now part of their subscription service. So they just automatically would charge you and send you videotapes every
Wow.
month.
I tell you that you want to talk about one of the greatest. I don't want to call it a scam because it's on you to know what you're signing up for. But when you sign up for something that is subscription based and then you can't figure out how to friggin' stop it, or it's like work to and they're just collecting money month after month after month. It's like a gym membership almost.
That's what I do appreciate about the big time streaming services.
I agree.
You can cancel very easily.
I agree. And they're all, you don't have to get on the phone with anybody.
Yeah.
You just do it online from your account. It's never an issue.
Yeah. I know for the longest time, I don't know if it's still like this. If you wanted to cancel SiriusXM, you had to call them.
I think you still do.
You couldn't
I'm
do it
pretty sure you
online.
still do. You can make changes online.
Yeah.
I don't believe, like I've made changes in the past year. Didn't cancel, but I think if you want to cancel, you have to call them.
And they make it very
They
difficult.
do. Yeah, that's their job is to. But and you know what? And in certain cases, when you call to cancel something, like my garbage bill was up to, I want to say I was spending $343 a quarter. Now that doesn't sound like a ton of money if you think about $100 a month for garbage removal, but I came to find out that my neighbor 2 doors down was paying like $177 a month for the company he's using. I'm like, well, it's garbage removal. What do I, as long as they show up, what do I care what they do with it? By the way, remind me about garbage when I'm done with this. So I called up to cancel. I was going to use the other place. And she's, no problem. I'll help you with that. She goes, I just need to ask you why you're canceling. And I told her, flat out told her. She goes, well, what if I told her we could match it? I'm like, fine. If you're going to match it, that's fine. But why does it cost so much money? Well, it does cost a lot, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? You've been a good company. We're not going to let you go. I'm like, so in that case, had I gone on and just canceled, I would have gone with a new company. By calling, they gave me a competitive rate and it was fine.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Garbage.
You would have lost your mind. I got stuck behind a garbage truck this morning on Hudson Street. No big deal. I was in no rush whatsoever. I was hosting, so I don't have to worry about getting anything ready. Just wanted to get in here in time to start preparing. So I get caught behind this garbage truck, red light, green light, still sitting there. And I know they're working. It wasn't like they were lollygagging. They threw everything in the kitchen sink in that thing, boxes, bottles, everything. So this whole recycling bull crap is bull crap.
Total scam.
It was unbelievable. I'm like, wow, look at this. And they bust our ass in Jersey. Oh, well, cardboard's got to be here and bottles. Meantime, they're going to this some landfill that's just everything.
They're throwing it all in there. Yep.
All in one.
I think that's very common.
It probably is. I wouldn't be surprised. It's almost like it's done just for show.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure some gets recycled. I'm not saying it doesn't. Clearly, there are recycled materials we see. But I think the majority of it just goes into the landfill.
A lot of it is for show so that you don't feel guilty as a consumer purchasing, single-use plastics. And you feel good with that the company's using recycled materials, even though
it's all nonsense.
Bull crap central.
All nonsense.
All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up show. We'll be back here tomorrow on a Friday. But
Friday.
I'll be doing that with CeeLo, the warm-up.
The weather sucks this weekend.
Really?
So disappointing. It really is. I know it's going to be better next week.
Next week, yeah.
The rain is just too much, man.
Ugh. I hear you, Jerry.
All right, well, you and CeeLo tomorrow morning.
All right, and you'll be back tomorrow with Gio.
Yes.
Sure.